Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry my last video was kind of long and rambling. Anyways, let's get this one done. Okay, so this one we're going to be installing the Revit add-in wizard and then doing a, potentially we'll go to Hello World, and then which is our first one on our easy list, right? And then I'll show you how to get into the add-in and then edit it as you need, which is kind of helpful so that when you want to get it going later on in the future, you won't have to do all the boilerplate stuff, like grab all walls or grab all windows, and it'll already be there. One of the websites I forgot to show you guys last time was the Revit API. Let's see, 2019, and then luckily, and I'm not sure who did it, but somebody, I think it might have been Jeremy, but someone published all the Revit API stuff online, thank God. So you don't have to go look for it hunting in your on your computer. So here, right, so in 2018, because that's the version that I have, obviously, as you can see, they have all these up here. And then they have code samples here in the back for C#, and then so this one's C#, yep, and then C# is right here. Not as many, but if you look at Python, Python is the reason why it's so popular is because it's very readable. So it's able to understand really fast. So like here, right, you can like drafting view test dialogs. So I'll look at these, kind of get ideas and pull little coding blocks for how to do this stuff. And then I'll be able to integrate it into C# if everything luckily goes well, and then I'll debug it and figure it out. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so I think last time we left off, right? I believe I put this in the last show notes, so you'll be able to check those out. And so what I did was that I went down here, right, and I clicked on, where is it? Right here, yeah. So click this zip file, right? It downloads. So I have that on my desktop up here in the top right, okay? And so we're going to get this one, and we're going to drop it into our Visual Studio add-in folder. So if you go, I'm on a Mac and I'm using Parallels to run this stuff, so bear with me for the file structure. So I'm going to go to my PC side. I'm going to start from the beginning. Okay, so we'll go here. We'll go to our Windows Explorer. And I think I need to copy it here. Where is it? There we go. So 2019, copy. And then we're going to go to the Visual Studio templates folder. So your Visual Studio, it should have downloaded and installed your documents, right? So it's able to go in here. If not, go ahead and just try and find it. We'll go to templates, and then we will go to project templates, and we will paste it in here, right? And I believe I showed you guys in the last video, I opened it up, right, and nothing was in there for the Revit add-in. Let's hope this works. So we're going to go to create new project, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. Don't forget that part. Get this guy, and then we're going to try to, we're going to click him, and then eventually we're going to have it pinned up here, right? So next time we open this, we can just pin it right here, so we don't need to scroll to the way to the bottom every time, and we'll be okay. All right, so we're going to hit next. And then we're going to say test1 because I already have something named test, and obviously this is the file where it's going to be, this is the location where it's going to be saved. And then we're going to say create. Right, and it's running. And so I believe this was created by Jeremy, the website that I showed you, and I'll try to remember to put that in the show notes, and if I don't, just feel free to leave a comment. And so what this does is that it sets you up to kind of get going. I believe Danny Bentley did a tutorial on kind of like the getting set up part without the add-in. The add-in makes it super easy to get going. So we're going to start there. So what it drops us in with, we've got properties, references, app, command, and then the name of it and add-in. Okay. So we'll go through from the top. Properties. assembly info. We double click him and we should open that up. A lot of the stuff comes in. And when I went through Jeremy's tutorials, right, we didn't really have to deal with this, so that's good. So we can go ahead and close him. And then if we go to references, this part's actually kind of important. So we're going to right click on references, add reference, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to install the ones that he mentioned, which was presentation core. See, system's already installed, that's good. And then system, here we go. XML, link. Link, I believe it helps go through the database quicker to help find stuff. I'm not too sure. Feel free to look that one up, as I will do on my own too. And then I think it was Windows base. That's it. Okay. I'm sure we'll do more on this. We'll probably need to come back in here for the CAD tutorial stuff too when we do it, because I know CAD uses Visual Studio as well. Okay, so we're going to start with those. Hit OK. See, now they all added here. Okay, pretty much all we need to do with that. Watch Danny Bentley's video on getting started. He has much more in-depth one. It's probably good to go through too. Also, just double check everything. Okay. For app.cs, this is kind of like when Revit starts up and when Revit shuts down. Okay. If we go here and then configuration manager, debug. Nope, not that one. I lied. Debug. Oh hell, we need to set this up, aren't we? Damn. I deleted my last file and I had it all set up. Okay, we'll do that in a bit. Okay, so we'll have. So this is when Revit starts up, okay, and this is when it shuts down. All right. So obviously, like, you can set up actions to do all in the meanwhile, and then when it gets to shutdown, it can do a process too. So if on startup you want to do something like load these families or load this file or a template, for example, you can do that. Or sorry, maybe not template, but you know, run some other command. On shutdown, you can do the same thing, and then on, so that's for app, and then if we close this, we double click on command. This is kind of the more helpful part. So when you run this, right, so this is command, okay. Again, Danny has a video that's more in depth on this, on like how to do things. But for this, just kind of going over it again. Okay, so this one grabs your UI app. This one grabs your document, so your project, I believe, application doc. And this kind of sums it up. And then this one grabs a selection. So, for example, in this boilerplate stuff that was written previously from Jeremy, this one will grab, let's see, grabs all doc elements from database, right? So, but, right, if you look at this, so this is a filtered element collector, so database, so Revit has a database, which I'll show you in the next video. It's kind of like a huge Excel file, if you can imagine that. Just, you know, like elements with IDs and ID numbers and parameters, and we'll get there. Anyways, so this one we can grab all walls, right? And so if we get this and copy it down, come on, don't crash on me. All right, and we do call, so let's call this one call walls. Can't spell. This one call windows. All right, and so this, we go into Windows. Oh hell. Nope. See, we're already debugging. So if we go here, underscore Windows OST, not too sure what that stands for, but here we get pretty much all access to Revit's beautiful stuff. So come on. OST ST underscore. Here we go. Okay. So because it's already pre-set up, so Visual Studio knows to access all the stuff, so we can go to Windows. All right. And then that should be good. So the red squiggly lines obviously mean that you have errors, right? So like, for example, like this one, e-col doesn't work because this needs to be the same name as this. So copy, paste, right? And now that error goes away. And then we'll be able to get that going. You need to figure out, let's delete you for now. Go away. And then, semicolon. Okay, so we'll get this set up and then we'll go into the beginnings of stuff. Anyways, okay, so what this will do is that this is gonna, so for each element, right, in walls, so walls is here, right? So what this did was that it grabbed all walls in the project, okay? So / grabs all walls. All right, and then when you get to the debugger, when we run it, it will print out all of the names of the walls in the project. Okay, and what that means is that the type of wall, pretty basically. So if you know Revit, right? So like each wall, if you got like A1 class, A16 class for whatever wall, if it's like two sides of jip and a stud, or only like it's a furring wall with a 6-inch stud and jip, whatever finish you have on the end of it, it's going to print out whatever you name. So for family type, it's going to print out that type name. Okay, using transaction. So every action in Revit is a transaction. So, for example, like when you click, everything from sync to draw wall to insert window, that's considered a transaction. Okay, and that means is that like when the transaction starts and when it stops, or sorry, when it's committed, that's what happens in that space, right? Is going to be your transaction. So that's what happens. So you just commit a transaction every time you click a button or do any action in Revit. Okay. Okay. So we did that, and then we're going to go to add-ins. I think that's the last one. So in add-ins, in Danny's video, right, he shows you that to create a button. We're going to comment this one out. So the add-in file is written in XML. Don't get intimidated by it. Okay. We're going to go through it. And then the CS is obviously written in C#. Okay. Again, don't be intimidated. Two different languages, that's okay. We'll get through it. So in this one, right, so to comment this one out, so to comment out in C#, it's the // right? So anything you write after the / in that line will not be executed because you're commenting it out. So for example, like the whole purpose of comments is exactly what it says. Just comment down like, oh, like this action grabs all walls. This runs a for loop on, on whatever elements in your list, right? So this is the list, and if you hover over it, generally it will tell you, it says local variable collect walls, and then I think if you hold down, no, it doesn't. Some IDEs, so integrated development environment for IDE. If you hold control or whatever over the item that you highlighted, it'll tell you more things about it. I'm sure Visual Studio does. I'm still learning Visual Studio and how it works. I usually work in Android Studio, but we'll get there. Okay, so comments, right, in Visual Studio is this, right? So anything after, it'll usually turn a different color, right? So greens. So all the colors mean different things, either whether it's object, action, class. Yeah, you get the point. Okay. So if we go to add-in, right, and we want to comment out anything in this file, right, we're going to do open caret, right, and then we'll see IntelliSense drops down this list right here. Okay, so we can hover over this one and hit tab, all right, and then we'll show it. Okay, so again, feel free to speed past this part at 2 times speed, so you don't have to listen to me ramble, and you'll get it. Okay, so we're going to cut and paste. Always forget. Sorry, I'm on a Mac running PC. So, okay, Control V. There we go. Okay. So what this does now is that this comments out the external commands part of it, I believe, and so we'll leave it, and it runs the button. So this right here, button, okay, we're going to get to that. So what this does is that this is going to run the application, which is this app.cs, right? So application, so it's going to run this, open it up, and it's going to run the transaction that we have right here, right, which is going to be all this stuff. So what it's going to do is that it's going to run, and it's going to collect all the names of the walls, okay, and then when you run the debug or start, or sorry, when you click the button, it's going to output all the walls in a list, and we will see that in a moment.